Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Osco with American News Post. We're here today with our sports podcast for today, July the 11th, Thursday. I'm here with Michael Magnafichi.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And Mr. Frank Coconate.
Hello.
So what's new, Frank? What do you hear of baseball? That's what I wanted to touch on.
I guess the drug era is back.
Drug era is back. Ryan Braun is the most hated man in baseball. He won his appeal, and they're calling him back.
He was the batting champ, wasn't he?
Right. Biogenesis Lab is being called for, injecting like 20 to 25 guys with the PEDs, and they're going to have a big investigation about it. And he's got a problem, I think, because he beat it on a technicality in court, and there's a lot of players in the league that hate him. He's not well liked because there's guys that pitched against him saying that guy hit a home run off me and he was cheating. He was using the stuff. So
I noticed you say cheating. You know what Claire Cerrone would be telling you? It's cheating, Michael. Cheating.
Okay.
I-N-G. Don't talk like you're from Grand Avenue.
Okay, but I am.
And I don't mean any disrespect to
it didn't sound like it.
Claire Cerrone.
Didn't sound like it.
I was imitating her in a loving way because I have a lot of respect for the lady. I want that in the record.
So he was cheating.
He was cheating the game.
It is cheating.
John Rocker was talking about, the steroid use of today.
The great relief pitcher, I think he was with Cincinnati.
Philly, Cincy.
Yeah,
he was the guy that fell off the mound all the time, couldn't keep his balance. And he was saying that in 1998, when the home run race was going on between McGuire and Sosa, he was saying that was the best year of baseball, even though he knew they were all using steroids, and those guys hit home runs off him.
I think most of the public knew that.
They loved it. And baseball, gave a blind eye to it because it was great for ratings.
Right.
Baseball finally got up. It's the most boring game to watch. The people that aren't fans of it. I am a fan of baseball.
I am too.
But he was saying that it was the greatest year.
Boring. What do you think of watching fishing? Do you ever see the Fishing Channel?
No. I block it. I had it blocked. The only thing I do is
pee off all the fish. You're going to pee off all the fishermen.
Right.
And there's a lot of them.
But this Biogenesis Lab is the one being called.
It's just amazing that after the Bobby Bonds,
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, the fiasco in California with that, there was a drug clinic too of some kind of.
Yeah, that was.
They call themselves almost like a biochemist stuff, but they call it like an athlete's, performance, better performance clinic.
Something I forget the name of it, but yeah, Bonds, Clemens. Those guys won't get into the Hall of Fame. Not in this era. You might see when they rechange the writers and stuff.
Right.
The writers get in it. The writers of today will not write them in. They just won't do. These are first ballot Hall of Famers. They should be walking in, and they're not going to. But
baseball's got a black eye now. It's just I don't know how much the fans will tolerate. Maybe they'll tolerate this. Who knows?
The fans, a lot of fans don't care because they like to see home runs. Nobody likes to see a 2-0 game. They don't want to see a pitching game. And this new guy, Yasiel Puig, have you heard of him from L.A.?
Yeah.
He's been in the league about 38 games, 40 games. He's hitting almost 400. He's got 8 home runs. He's like the new Bo Jackson out there.
There's always, every year, there's somebody that comes up.
He's a Cuban defective.
Yeah.
He doesn't even speak English. He has to have an interpreter when he does an interview.
Right.
And he's a great player. Just all fast, got an arm.
Yeah.
He throws his body against the floor, against the ground. He's just unbelievable the way he plays.
Is he an outfielder?
Yeah, he's a right fielder. He's a right fielder with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Pardon me. How are you from Grand Avenue? I was just thinking about that. How are you from Grand Avenue?
Well, I was born in Elmwood Park.
But you lived on Fullerton.
Right.
But I was from Fullerton.
Okay, Fullerton. What's the next street over?
Grand Avenue.
Okay, I'm close.
All right.
He's 2 blocks north.
2 blocks north, right. And Jay-Z's getting involved in baseball. He wants to get Puig. He's going to want to represent him.
Right.
And that Scott Boras, who's like the biggest agent of all, he gets money. He gets money that you can't believe. When these guys are looking to sign contracts for $150 million, or $100 million for like 10 years or something like that, he gets them $200 million. He's the best. And even Jay-Z, he's a rapper.
Right.
He made a song on his new album that he's representing himself to say that he's going to take over Scott Morris's business on the song.
But who's he representing?
He's trying to get Puig.
Oh,
trying to get Puig.
Yeah. Does he have an agency now?
Oh yeah, he's definitely involved. Jay-Z's involved in all sports now. He's getting into that. He's involved in everything.
He's made so many.
Well, he's part owner of the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, really?
He's got a piece of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
That's
great.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But anyway.
So the Cubs and Sox are doing
horrible.
The Cubs are playing a little better.
Cubs aren't playing bad. They're 8 games under 500, but they're playing in a division.
Unbelievable.
They're in a division that's just St. Louis is 54 and 34. They're just
Pittsburgh. How about Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh's right behind them. Pittsburgh 53 and 36, something like that. And the Cubs the Cubs are doing pretty good, I would say.
They win about 15 in a row. They're right back in.
Well, I mean, they're not going to get into the division, but it would be nice if they played 500 balls.
As a Cub fan, always thinking positive.
Right. I mean, it's not far.
I went to the Cubs game last Friday.
Oh, did you?
They played Pittsburgh, lost.
Right.
I fell asleep through the game.
How can you fall asleep, man? That's baseball.
I mean, the Sox are really
American sport.
The Sox are really pathetic, though.
Yeah, they're doing bad.
I mean,
bad. I really don't care, but I mean, it's
it's hard to watch. The Cubs got killed last night, 13-2 at home.
Yeah. You got to have a bad game every so often.
Yeah, a little bit of a bad game.
They was their top pitcher. Samardzija was pitching too.
Was it? I didn't even watch the game. When it got to be like 6-7, nothing or something like that, I just turned it off then.
So we got to get through a couple more weeks and then football starts.
Football. Well, you've been hearing about all the problems with the Patriots, with their personnel.
Oh, yeah.
They just had another guy get in trouble, a guy by the name of Alfonso Denard. He got a DUI driving with...
Denard. I know that name, Denard, yeah. That was Ted Denard. Do you remember Ted Denard?
Mm-mm. No, I do not.
Yeah.
We remember Ted Danson.
No, Ted Denard was... What the hell was he? Anyway, go ahead, guys.
Well, he got a DUI, and the bad thing about it is that he was on probation for punching a cop like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. They gave him 30 months probation and 30 days in jail, which wasn't to be served till 2014, after the season. After the football season of 2014, which is unheard of. Only an athlete could get that. Usually you get sentenced you get your sentence in 30 days, and 30 days you're in jail.
You know a lot about the law.
Right, unfortunately.
Did you take some law classes, Michael?
Yes, I did.
You
at
did?
Northern Illinois, yeah. I was pre-law.
And then you dropped out and joined the Mafia.
Hey, he was hands-on with the law. He actually went through trials.
Went through trials, sure. Several trials.
You learn a lot.
Yeah. I wanted to be...
Did you go to any of the trials? Did you go to any of the hearings on the Strawman case when Jack and Joe were in Kansas?
Yeah.
You did go. You were in the courtroom.
Right. A couple times.
Jack's around?
Yeah, we will save that for our behind-the-scenes segment a little while.
But it looks like the New England and Bill Belichick signed a character thing with the judge to give this guy
a break.
And now it's making New England look like they just have no judgment at all.
Let's be honest, they've been the model organization for the last
Well, they call
years.
it the Patriot way.
Yeah.
You come to the Patriots, and it's the Patriot way. You go the way we go, or you go.
You go.
And they're probably going to cut this guy, I would assume. Because I don't know how much more they...
Well, how about Hernandez? Where's that going?
Oh, well, he's got two guys that are saying, they're beefing already. One guy says that Wallace said that he told them that he killed them.
Yeah.
He got out of the car with them and killed them.
Yeah.
He killed them. He said that he did, but they're talking that, that's all hearsay evidence right now. You got to wait to see till it gets to trial.
Sure.
But it looks like this guy...
But overall in football... a guy brought up on one of the sports channels, ESPN or one of them, there's been 25 guys arrested in football this year.
Oh, they're all thugs.
Well, they're minds. Come on, you see the game today. It's brutal. I've never seen a sport as bad.
I never saw, Claire Throne would tell you that I never saw or I have seen.
Excuse me.
Right.
I never saw.
Okay. I never saw or I have never seen.
I have never
Yeah.
seesawed. I saw a
All
team.
right, we'll let it go.
I never
Let it
saw
go.
a sport like football, how fast and how hard they play with a uniform like that.
Oh.
They look like space age guys now out there.
It's the speed of the game has just gotten so much. Well, you know what they say when you come out of college football into the pros? They say the holes open up like in a second, and you got a chance. The running back's got
Right.
a chance to run. When you get into the pros, it's a split second,
Right.
and that's what the college kids have a hard time adjusting to is the speed of the game.
Yeah,
It's so much
it's-
faster. It's
Sure.
so much faster.
Yeah,
But,
it's unbelievable. But I don't know how long they can keep up this kind of pace because these guys are going nuts. They're
Right.
going nuts, and it's got to be the steroids. It's got to be something that's enhancing or the hits in the head are driving them
Well,
all
sure.
nuts.
And you know the funny thing about it is when you think about the money that these guys make, and for this guy to get a DUI, the average rookie makes $400,000 a year. Well, I know that's in pro football, pro athletes. That's not a whole lot of money to us. That is.
Yeah,
that's
the
a tremendous amount of
average
money.
Joe.
But
Well,
anybody,
not to the bosses. The bosses.
But I'm saying the $400,000 a year you could afford a cab.
Michael, I have a driver, and I don't make any money.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean-
just to avoid the DUI. And
Or hurting somebody.
right.
You can
You
kill
hurt
somebody.
More
somebody.
importantly,
More
hurting
importantly,
someone.
yeah.
Right. Right.
They're just out of control. They're out of control.
Right.
And sooner or later, something's going to happen to that
Oh, I
sport.
wanted to just get back to baseball for 1 minute. Jeter comes back today with the Yankees. He
Oh,
was
really?
playing in the minor leagues, and he's coming back today. They say he's in a DH couple.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
I thought the general manager didn't even want him to come back.
No, that's Alex Rodriguez.
Oh.
That was Alex Rodriguez.
Those are two stars.
Yeah.
Two stars.
Oh, Rodriguez was, tapped to be the next Babe Ruth,
Right.
Or Barry Bonds, or whoever you want to say the best player ever there was, but Barry Bonds was a steroid user.
Right.
But,
He tarnishes them all.
Sure.
Joe DiMaggio was clean.
Absolutely.
He's the best.
And
best.
also getting back to football, getting on the DUI thing, I don't know why I was so interested listening to it, but two executives with Denver, that's who Elway
Right,
is that you
right.
got
Then
DUIs.
you've had more DUIs than Mike Ditka.
Oh, well, that's not important right now.
Who? Who are you talking about,
But we're
Mike?
talking about sports and DUIs, Ditka, DUIs.
Ditka,
I guess
DUIs.
that's where I pulled it up.
Thank you. I needed everybody to know that. That was wonderful.
Oh, it's on,
Although
it's on the internet.
Hey,
Mike.
I
you know
know, but
what?
not everybody's looking
Hey,
for me on the
we-
internet. for
Go look
DUIs.
on the internet. Michael's on
can
there
edit
for
that.
DUIs.
We'll edit that, right, Joe?
Yeah, you'll edit it.
Our editor's on vacation.
You'll have my impersonator add to it more.
Right.
But that's about it in sports. Oh, you got the British Open coming up next week.
Your golf.
Yeah.
I know you like your
The
golf.
yeah.
Because
British
it brings you back to the days of Jackie and them, right?
Oh, yeah, everybody, all my friends playing.
And you're a good golfer.
Used to be. Don't play as much as I used to.
No.
I'd like to get out there a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's about it with the sports.
We touched on everything. The
Touched it,
baseball,
yeah,
football.
just about everything.
Nothing with basketball. It's all over now.
Oh,
It's just
yeah,
draft.
a little bit with the basketball that, that Jason Kidd just retired last
Right,
year. He's now
he's
a
a
coach with the
Right, we
Pacers.
talked about that this week.
You got.
That's why the shows are pretty close this week. We've touched on. a
We've
lot of
touched on everything.
Monday.
Yeah.
You talked about Wimbledon. We pretty much touched on
Right.
everything.
All right, so I think at this point we will go on to our behind the scenes segment, and for those of you only interested in sports, have a wonderful rest of your day. We will be back here Monday, July the 15th. Thank you for listening, and now that we're officially in the behind the scenes segment, Michael, as we were wrapping up our sports section, you mentioned golf, and it reminded me of a story I would like you to consider sharing with us. I don't know how to describe it other than by saying you were with your friend Billy W. Or can we say his last name? Okay, we'll just call him W. That was the first initial of his last name.
Correct.
So it's not another Billy. It's Billy W.
Correct.
That's the last name, not a middle name. You were golfing with him and Joe B.
And
Jack. Now, for those out there who don't know who Joe B. is the late outfit boss, Tony Accardo, and Jack is the late underboss for the outfit in Chicago, Jack Cerrone. So you were golfing with Joe B. and Jack and Billy W.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the humorous experience in
Well, we
that
were at a
story?
ninth hole at Fresh Meadows, and we were just getting...
That's in Hillside, Illinois, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
We were on the putting green, and next to the ninth hole is a driving range. And there's a big gravel lot there. Car comes skidding in there, donuting in there. Two guys get out. They recognize me.
How old were you at the time?
Oh, shit. I was probably in my early 20s, 23, 24.
So this was in 1984?
83, 85.
In 1983, 84.
Something like that.
So, and then how old was Billy W.?
10 years older than me.
Okay, and all right, so the car comes in, the four of you are on the green
Putting.
putting. A car comes rolling into the parking lot. What happens?
A couple guys get out of the car.
How old are these guys?
Billy's age.
Okay, so these are guys that you know, not Joe B. and Jack.
No, they don't.
These
know
aren't
that.
outfit guys.
No, just regular guys, friends.
Okay.
And they get out of the car, they recognize Billy.
Yes.
And they say, Billy, where's that effing money you owe us?
Mm-hmm.
And Billy turns around and looks and he gives him the sign like, stop it, don't do this,
Don't talk about that.
And Jamie goes, you know those guys? And Billy goes, never saw them before in my life. Jack says, who the hell are those guys? I said, I don't know. Don't ask me. I never saw them before in my life. They must have us confused with somebody else.
Well, that's what?
That was it. They looked and they finally recognized who we were playing with, and as fast as they pulled in, they pulled out faster.
And what did Joe and Jack continue to play, or were they
sure.
aggravated?
We were only in the ninth hole. We went on the back nine. They forgot it right away. They just thought it was a case of mistaken identity.
What an embarrassing
Oh, my
situation for
God.
you guys.
Only the laundry man knows how nervous I
Who
am.
were you guys? Who were the two guys?
You're always your Sunday best when you're with Jack and Joe, and here's
Right.
a couple of nitwits from high school or whatever
Right.
the case was.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm answering your question.
Right.
Come around wanting to collect some debt for milk money.
And then they didn't owe me
Yeah.
money. They were just saying it, just funning around.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, no,
Okay.
it wasn't a debt.
I see.
Billy didn't owe me any
It
money.
was just goofing
Just
around.
goofing around. That's how they were.
Playing games.
Playing games.
With those guys there.
With those guys. They thought we were just with a couple old guys that we got teamed up with on the first tee.
Now, the other thing that I think about, there's an Arby's right around there.
Yes.
Wasn't that one of Joe's favorite lunch spots?
Oh, he loved it.
Here's Joe B. We all know who Mr. Ricardo is. Most of us do. God knows, how much money he might have had. Probably, a lot more than me anyway. And which, of course, most people do have more than me. But he would go to Arby's and enjoy a sandwich there. Willie Messino told me one of Joe B.'s favorite dining places for dinner was Red Lobster.
Really?
Yeah, the one on Foster and Cumberland in
Okay.
Norwich.
Oh,
Yeah, I know where it's
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
Here's the guy. Now, guys 100 notches below him on the totem pole are, out throwing money around
Eat the Cafe La Cave.
They can't see spending $100 for a meal. Yeah.
Joe B's at Red Lobster at Arby's.
Right. One of the most powerful guy in the United States.
Waiting in line.
And
not complaining about it either.
now, talking about those guys, any word on how your friend Rudy Frado is doing? I understand he's in jail right now.
I haven't heard anything.
I heard somebody magically bailed his house out of Hawk. Could only assume it was his wealthy brother-in-law, but I don't know who. And I'm happy for him that he has a couple of young kids. They should have a roof over their head.
Frado was part of the McCormick Place stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay, hold it right there. I don't want to go into that stuff.
What don't you want to go into?
Well, you're talking about that outfit stuff and all that.
Well, I mean, the sports piece is done now, and we're just having
I know, but
a conversation.
He always likes to bring up stuff that I prefer.
I just want to know because it affects a lot of people.
Frank, it doesn't affect you or me.
It does affect us. It affects the people that pay taxes. You know what I mean? And you're sitting here. Wait a minute. You pretend like you don't know nothing all the time. And I'm tired.
Well, he doesn't pretend he knows nothing.
I don't pretend like I don't know anything, but I certainly don't want to talk about anything either. And I told you that.
Mike, who are you protecting here?
The premise of this here was a sports show, not to talk about people that I happen to be acquainted with. I don't want to talk about them. I prefer you not
Well,
talking
let me
about them.
give you a hot tip. People listen to you because who you are. They like to hear some of your sports knowledge, but they know who you are.
Well, I don't care
Unless
who
they're
they,
really stupid. But you sit here and we're talking about interesting stuff.
whoever the hell they think I am and what I am is I'm a sports commentator right now.
This is ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous.
Let's get somebody else in on this. It's somebody that's neutral.
Okay, that'll be me. I think that Michael raises a good point. You raise a good point that you did commit to a sports segment.
Correct.
And I've been guilty of it, just right alongside.
But here's a guy, Joe, that's been around. He saw it all. At a young age, he saw the Franzo, a Carter.
I don't want to
He
talk.
saw the whole map.
I don't want to. I don't want those people
every
mentioned.
weekend
They have nothing to do with anything.
I'd like
They're not hurting anybody.
Stuff, but geez.
You bring it up
he
every
knows
time.
the back deals. He knows everything.
I don't know anything. And I prefer not to talk about it. I asked you politely, and before we even went on, you said agreed, and here you go again.
How about the judges I asked you about? You don't know nothing about the judges in Chicago.
No, I don't know anything
You know
about
nothing.
the
You
judges.
know every one of them.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly don't believe that Michael knows over 400 judges. Honestly.
400 judges.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
400 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you accused him of knowing every single one of them.
He knows
Over 400. I don't
everyone.
think anyone
He knows the old
over
mob. He
400
knows the
judges.
new mob. He knows everybody.
I don't know anybody.
And every week he acts
And
like.
every week you go through this, and I tell you that this is
Because
about sports.
I know
want
what
to talk
you know.
about sports. I want to talk about anything else.
Let's try to change it a bit to make Michael comfortable.
Well, sure,
and,
so he
and,
could defend the outfit.
and
all the time.
appease you, Frank, because you like some of the names involved. I like discussing some of these guys too. I've brought their names up too, particularly Rudy Frotto today. But there's another Frotto that I have been exposed to by seeing things on the internet. A guy out of California by the name of Johnny Frotto. I think he sells these overpriced choppers, helicopters, motorcycles.
Maybe the same way you call him up.
You've heard of him? Have you heard of him?
Yes, I've met him.
I told you, he knows everybody.
Yeah.
Well, he was downtown in the '80s. I used to be downtown a lot, and
But I don't think he was doing that in the '80s. I think
No,
this is more recent.
I don't know what he was
If he's
doing.
related to Rudy Frotto, he was doing something.
Now he, I think, is Lou Frotto's son,
That I'm not quite sure.
the guy from Iowa.
If it's his son or his nephew, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, they're related, however.
I'm looking at his here. Yeah, I'm looking at his web page right now here on my computer and my laptop, and I see that he knows a lot of people in California. I see a lot of big pictures of him here, exciting pictures. And well, what do we have here? I'm gonna try to have a little fun with this. Call me
Ask Mike if he knows who Mike is. Ask him if he knows who Mike Magnafichi is.
Called me an instigator, but
No.
You've been called worse.
I'm gonna give this guy a call. Here, can you
Yeah, sure.
turn my phone on?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask him the question, who he was related to in Iowa.
Hold on one second. I'll get you the. Here you go, sir.
And so,
Well, I mean, what's this going to prove? I want to tell him we want a background on Mike Magnafichi, how he knows nobody.
Why would you want a background?
Well,
on
you're
me?
saying you don't know anybody. You're just a sports guy.
I am. That's all I do.
Constantly defending these guys, these outfit
I'm
guys.
not defending anybody.
Oh,
I'm
you
just preferring
do.
not to talk about it. You said this was a sports
it's ringing.
program.
It's
Johnny,
ringing. It's ringing.
Boo Boo, all these guys.
It's ringing. Let's quiet down, fellas.
Hello.
Is this Johnny Frotto?
Yes, it is.
Johnny, this is Joe Fosco from Chicago and American News Post. I don't know if you know who I am. I wrote about
I know who you are.
I wrote about Rudy Frotto a few times.
Yeah. I know who you are.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Hey, we're having a problem here, John. We're having a problem.
I'm saying, let me explain what we're doing. John, I'm calling you from a podcast taping we're doing on sports with Frank Coconate and Michael Magnafichi. They're here with me now. We're taping the show.
I don't know too much about sports, fellas.
Do you know Michael Magnafichi?
I know who Michael is. I know Michael, I believe, from Rush Street.
Yeah, I remember you, John. I met you a few times on Rush Street.
Yeah.
You're Rudy's cousin.
Yeah.
You're right. I met you a few times down
Rudy,
there.
you're Rudy the outfit guy's cousin, right?
Would you stop with that stuff?
Yeah, I'm
your
just
outfit.
Rudy's cousin.
You what?
I'm just Rudy's cousin. It's got no.
And then what's Rudy?
There's
And what was
nothing
Rudy?
outfitter made. Rudy is my cousin.
And what did Rudy do for a living?
He was an electrician, from what I understand.
Electrician. And what is Mike Magnafichi?
He didn't do a lot of great electrical stuff, so.
What, like?
I always heard about. They always bragged about how good his.
What, like circumvent alarms? Hey, circumvent alarms?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he could do anything.
Could he wire bombs under cars?
Oh, I don't think he would do anything like
How
that.
about Michael? Do you think he could? You think he was good at putting bombs under cars?
I think that he was good at hooking up wiring to turn on the lights and the toaster and things like that.
Hey, was Mike Magnafichi an altar boy on Rush Street?
You know what? I think I'm a little older than Mike. I'm like 58 years old. I think he's a little younger than me.
Oh, you're a young
I'm
man.
7 years younger than you.
How many? Hello?
7 years younger than you.
Yeah. So.
Well, at the time, Rush Street was a place to hang.
No, I mean down there were no altar boys, from what I recall. So.
No altar boys. All right. We do this show week in and week out, and we try to get Mike to open up a little bit, and he constantly denies knowing anything, knows nothing. Well, just like you're saying, your cousin was an electrician.
He is an electrician. Or was an electrician, retired.
That's how I always heard it. He was an electrician.
Where did he work at McCormick Place? Was he an electrician at McCormick Place?
I don't know.
How about John? What was Johnny DeFranza, a builder? Oh.
I lived in Iowa, so
Why do you start with that?
Hey, what's your name again, John?
On a serious
John.
note, why do you always got to bring
Hey,
up...
Mike, wait a minute now. We're talking to somebody else now. He's in California. John?
Yeah, I'm here.
What does Johnny DeFranza do, a painter?
I don't know.
Do you know who he is?
He's a car salesman.
I think I read about him. I mean, yeah, he's a car salesman. Yeah, that's right.
And Joe Andriaki's the builder, right?
He builds houses.
I guess he is, yeah. So,
you sound like Mike.
Just people, we're all people. What people do for a living, what I mean, is what they do.
What do you guys do? What do you drink Kool-Aid to protect these guys? Why do you defend these people?
Well, I grew up, you gotta realize, I grew up around a lot of people like that, and there's good people and there's bad people.
Johnny,
that's how you gotta look at it.
Johnny, who was your dad?
Like the good and the bad.
Johnny, who was your dad? We were trying to remember who your father was.
My father's name was Louis, and him and my Uncle Frank were, always constantly being kind of accused guys. I mean, I never saw them as outfit guys. I mean, I've read a lot about it. I've researched it a lot. I've actually kind of made my living, doing that research.
Johnny,
I didn't see it.
Johnny, is it your dad or your uncle that was very close with James R. Hoffa?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Was it your dad or your uncle?
That was my father, yeah. My father was.
Right. And your father...
It was before all the committees, McClellan and Keith Buffer and all of that, But he never went to prison. He never went to jail.
Not like... So Rudy didn't take after his uncle, obviously.
Of course. Well, I mean, either my father was very lucky or he was very innocent. One or the other,
Right.
Hey, John?
I mean, again, like I'm saying, I think that Rudy, in the case of Rudy, I think that the name carries a lot, and carrying the name, I think he was one of those guys that maybe he went too far with the name.
Hey, John.
Too far with the name.
John.
Sometimes those kind of things can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. John, where's Jimmy Hoff at?
Yeah. Where is he?
Yeah.
He's in my ashtray. He's got it in the ashtray over here.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike Magnafichi didn't know him either.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, well,
How would I? I was 12 years old when he...
Yeah, how old would he be right now, Hoffa?
Probably 98 or something. Who
Yeah,
knows?
older than John.
He's got to be in the hundreds, like 100.
Could he be 100 by now?
Sure.
Yeah, he's got to be 100 at least.
He was in his 60s when he disappeared, wasn't he?
That was 35 years ago.
It was
He'd
35.
be in his 90s. Or right about 100, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, John, what do you do out in California?
Yeah, what are these? Tell us about these Beverly Hills Choppers.
I'm just out here just exploiting my heritage and trying to use my name to turn it around. So
hey, why don't you tell that to Mike Magnafichi? Tell it to Mike use his name to make some money.
Well, he should. I mean, everybody's got a story, so.
No, he don't have a story. He knows nothing. He knows about sports.
That's what I know about sports, John. That's all I'm trying to do is get a sports program.
And golfing.
That's sport.
And that's okay. Those are two good things. Those are two good things to write a book about or get a movie or
hey,
a
listen,
show about.
he golfed with Tony Accardo and Jackie Cerrone. What do you think they talked about?
About golf.
Golf, probably, yeah. I would say golf, yeah.
Golf? How about owning all of Chicago and what they were picking up?
Are you guys really on a podcast?
Yeah, we're on a podcast, and we try to talk sports. We also try to get some of the real secrets, what goes on in Chicago, and why Chicago and Illinois are so corrupt.
If you want all the secrets about the guys you're asking me about, why don't you just ask them?
I
don't know anything about it. I barely know what's going on around me at all.
Hey, your cousin was running McCormick Place, a multi-million-dollar operation for the state. Your cousin ran it, brought in contractors.
Well, I'm very surprised to hear that. I never saw him, with that much.
Really?
To be running a multi-million-dollar thing. I mostly saw him just being an electrician.
Electrician. You know what? That's the first I ever heard he was an electrician.
Oh, no.
He was.
Was he electrician?
Was an electrician.
Yeah.
Union?
I don't know about
Probably. I mean, why would you go into being an electrician and not be union?
Yeah. Well, a lot of those guys years ago just were taught.
Yeah. But Rudy...
Yeah.
Rudy, I think what Frank's hinting to is he might be running things out of McCormick Place for Johnny DeFranzo, who is getting the money, possibly. But anyway, so what's going on with the Beverly Hills Choppers, Johnny?
Well, no, I'm just, it's just a company that I created, and it's just a company that I license things.
Okay.
T-shirts and belt buckles and things like that. It turned more into a fashion thing.
What are all these pictures with Paris Hilton and everything? Is she a friend of yours, or?
Well, it's just also absolutely. It's just a celebrity-driven company, so the company is driven by celebrities because like what I do is in the fashion business. That's it, and then I mess around with TV a little bit.
How long you been out there?
I've been out here about 15 years.
Wow. You miss Chicago?
I don't miss it. When you get the sun like this, you don't miss nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once the sun comes, in the winter, every now and then you get a twinge, to be cold. But if you you go there, you remember how fucking cold it really is.
Oh, it's brutal. Well, right now it's beautiful. Today we're one good day out of 352. Today's a beautiful day in Chicago.
Good day, What? No ice, no sliding around, no fucking dirt, no puddles, no miracles, no nothing.
You got red light cameras out there? In Chicago, we got cameras all over the place.
Yeah, they got them here. They got them here more than anyone.
Really?
This is Big Brother all day long here.
Yeah, well, it's
Big Brother all day long. That's why you got to come out here. Forget about all that other shit. You know what I mean?
Are you in L.A.?
I'm in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Oh, Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh.
You see any actors out there?
I see every actor, everybody.
How about?
I was just with the people that started and created Motown.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yesterday morning, trying to work on selling TV shows to them.
Is that Berry Gordy or?
Berry Gordy used to. I was with her. His main woman named Suzanne DePass.
Wow.
And very, very big thing. Yes, very big thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, we appreciate the time. Do you have a?
No problem.
Don't
pick on Rudy. Don't pick on Rudy so much.
Well, no, we want to pick on.
Thank you, John.
We want to pick on Mike Magnafichi.
You can pick on me, don't pick on Rudy. He's defenseless. He's not here to defend himself.
Pick on Mike, he said. Pick on Mike.
That's fine. Pick on me because I'm here. I can defend myself.
Mike's middle name is I don't know nothing. Mike.
Friend.
I don't know nothing.
Rabbit.
Well, this is getting a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
for
well,
me. Johnny, are you going to? Oh, we lost Johnny.
Oh my God!
Did he say goodbye or did he hang up on us?
He might have disconnected.
You're bum rapping his cousin.
Yeah.
What do you expect him to do?
Yeah. Well, I want him to tell the truth. At least he admitted he knew him. Not like you. You don't know anybody.
No, I know some people, but I'm going to tell you this right now, Frank. If you continue with this talk about outfit and all this stuff, this program will be over for today.
I understand.
I'm tired
but
I signed on
you want to
do
defend these people.
Let me finish, please.
Yeah.
I signed on to do a sports program, not to talk about stuff that newspapers talk about.
Right.
When I look at the newspaper, I look at the back pages, and you know why? That's where the sports is at.
Right.
I don't look at the front page. I don't care who's on there. I don't know what they're writing about. I don't care to know. You seem to be enthralled with it. That's not
I love it.
Well, this day is over because you continue to talk about it.
Hey, listen, do what you have to do.
Well,
let Joe straighten it out.
I'm signed off.
On that note, I guess now is a good time to end today's behind-the-scenes with Mike Magnafichi and Frank Coconate. Again, for those of you who have continued on listening to the show, we will, as a reminder, see you on July, or not see you, but we will speak to you on July 15th, Monday. Have a great weekend.
About sports.
Yeah, about the outfit.
Okay. Oh, boy.